G'day guys, Wayne McHale here. I'm going to try and explain to you the situation, what happened with the Carisbrook floods in 2011, and here we are 2022 and the levee still has not been built. So what this is going to try and do is give you my interpretation of what's happening and where we're going with it. We will be dealing with two reports. This is an aerial photo which was put out on the report of the actual flooding. So this is the Carisbrook levee, the Carisbrook town just after it was flooded. The reports we're going to be looking at will be this one, which is Investigation and Design of Carisbrook Flood and Drainage Mitigation Treatments, Primary Design Report, Insurer, 22nd of February 2015. So this was the original plan that was put into a submission to the community in 2016, and the community voted on it. This is the actual plan that the community approved and wanted. And then the other plan we're going to be looking at is going to be the proposed stages 3 and 4, construction of levee and associated earthworks and drainage infrastructure. This one here is a Tompkinson Plan, and the date on it is November 2019. It's going to be a bit difficult to see this, but this is the actual plan here. So you can see this is stage 4 and this is stage 3. So if you notice that, compared with the original plan, this one only goes down to High Street, round the corner there. So all this area here has not been incorporated into this, yet the council still state that this is the plan that the community agreed on, and this is a contentious point. So there was an objectors meeting after the 2019 plan was submitted. Judy and I attended that meeting, and it was all administrators, most of the upper level management of the Central Goldfields Shire at that objectors meeting. To make a long story short, the administrator asked myself what my qualifications were and why I felt I had knowledge in order to assist them with the design. I stated that I was a chef, and I'd lived through several floods through Carisbrook, and I have a lot of local experience and local knowledge, and therefore we felt that should be incorporated into the design. We felt that it was missing a few areas. The end scenario was, from the meeting, that the administrators stated that they have plans done by the best hydro technicians in Victoria, 3 of the best, and council could not take the opinion of a cook over their designs, so therefore our concerns were disregarded. So what we'll explain here is, you can see there's a grey area all down here. All this grey area, this actually came from the creek. So there's a creek which comes down the side of Carisbrook down here and to the north of Carisbrook. So all this grey area is riverine flooding, right? Carisbrook was built on the side of a creek, and history has proven every time we get that amount of water that there will be flooding at Carisbrook. The other area which is floodwater is, you can see all up here. This here is all clear water. You can see the reflections of the sky, of the clouds there. This is overland water, and it comes from the south, which is this area here, and it all comes down this way and then meets up and then heads off to the creek. The western levee is designed to go across here, down here, and out to the track. That's a little bit more area now. So, from the 2015 plan that the community recommended, so you can see, that's it there. This is an overlay that we've done. So this overlay, yes, you can see it. There it is. It'll actually come from further up there, down here, diagonally across that paddock, and you can see a nice straight line right down. There's the trotting track there. So it's designed to take the water. The best way is to the longest and straightest route. There you can see that's Pleasant Street. And you can see that little dogleg there, which actually sends the water round behind the trotting track, which is a natural water course where the water will then find its own way down to the creek. So this is what's happened. That's what number one is. So we then go back and have a look, now knowing exactly where that levee was going. So you can see water accumulation here, water accumulation there, and water accumulation here. They've decided they will send the water down that path. So these areas that are high and dry, particularly Pleasant Street, so you can see the water doesn't even get near Pleasant Street until you get down to Wills Road. So you've got 1, 2, 3 areas, so we've got to get the water and build channels for the water to be in a down gradient and actually flow down through here. From the top of this is all hill up here, and it all flows down at quite a reasonable rate. And then from here, from this point here, they've then got to build drains, we believe about 18 inches deep, to get a downward flow to get it underneath Pyrenees Highway, which is here. So we've got to get all this area here has now got to be a drain to get it level with the bottom of Pyrenees Highway. Pyrenees Highway is 1.5 metres above ground level, and the levee is going to be built at 1.5 metres to match that. Under the Pyrenees Highway, they're putting two 1.25 metre culverts. They've already been installed. So we've got all this water here, which basically has come down in 4 to 6 hours, and it would have all dispersed in probably the same amount of time. So our first question is, are two 1.25 metre culverts going to be enough to funnel all this water down through there at a very low gradient to get it out? Or will it accumulate in there, and this being a high area, how much of this water is going to store in there before it overflows and creates the same problem again? So that's one of the questions that we have. So this here is the original plan, as you can see, drawn down to there. Now we'll go to this plan, which is, oops, here we go. This plan here, which only comes down to this area here. There's a railway line. So that plan that they originally have drawn, as you can see, there's a railway line, there's Will Street, and there's that, they've put the dog leg to send it off up Will Street and then down there. So you can see this section here is the same, and again you've got 1.2 metres. So remember, down here is Potts Lane. On the 1st of February 2021 we had 20 mils in a short period of time. They had 2 drains under there, which is about the same as what they've got under the Pyrenees Highway. Those drains in that 20 mil blocked up because it was totally and utterly chock-a-block full of debris. So there's maintenance which has come into the problem. In discussing with Insurer about this plan that they put forward, which is their 2019 plan, which we believe is Tompkinson's plan, they stated that they've made this design without a debris study. So that within itself is a question. So you can see if it goes through the highway, it's then going round the lamppost, going down there. You've then got another dog leg here to go through the railway line. It then comes down here, and then instead of going straight down to the creek, it then dog legs up here, right and left. So these are the designs the council have. According to the original plan, there's supposed to be a culvert there which takes the water down through there. That culvert has not been put in place. As there was supposed to be a culvert up here, which also has not been put in place. So we're seeing there's no relief. There's no overflow design on this. Basically there's no security or anything on that. So you can see with this, it is a very, very frustrating situation. We've been to meeting after meeting after meeting, council and the designers, and again I question, they do put Insurer's name on this, but the plan that we actually objected to was a Tompkinson's plan. So the original Insurer plan goes right down to here. The plan they submitted actually finishes here. And this is another bit that's been added from a third plan. So there is a lot of questions. So we're mainly interested about the security and the safety. They've had funding for this, we believe, in 2016. It was completely funded. Back then, the pricing from Insurer's original assessment was round about 2.7 million. They had that money in 2016-17. At a meeting with the administrators in 2019, they stated they had the money to build it in 2019. 2021, May, the federal government gave the council another $1.2 million to complete this stage of the levee, which would have completed the levee. That still hasn't been done. So they've had the funding 3 times, and at this stage it still has not been done. And in a situation where we're getting increased flood levels, just last week in Ballarat they had potentially the largest rains they've ever had in history, so we're getting larger events. And when they designed this levee is designed to take a 1 in 100 flood. The actual flood in 2011 we believe was a 1 in 135. And they stated that with this design it would not cope with another 2011 flood, but it would take possibly a 1999 flood. So there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of frustrations, and all we'd like is for the council to sit down, discuss it, put your cards on the table and satisfy the community that they are doing the best and we will be safe. There are so many questions in this. I've only covered a small amount, but I hope basically you understand riverine flooding, overland flooding. Once they have the levee in, all this water will be going down the levee or going down Williams Road, which is a levee they've also built up here. Another question we have, if half or even a quarter of this is going down Williams Road, that will then come in and then come round Carisbrook. So will that increase the actual level for the riverine flooding? The problem is